Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. Speaking of the daily Discord updates, as you can see, the chart looks a bit different today, and that's because I have decided to go with the blue scenario that we talked about yesterday and, in the last couple of days. And if you want to understand why I chose the blue scenario, then check out the memberships, and let's actually focus on the scenario for a second. So if you actually count this move, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4 setup, meaning we're probably gonna get a fifth wave right now. And let's talk about the first wave first. So this was an ABC to the upside, the second wave was an ABC to the downside, the third wave was an ABC to the upside, and you get the point, the fourth wave was also an ABC but to the downside, which tells me that the fifth wave to the upside will probably be an ABC as well. And as you can see, we actually found support right here at the 618 for the fourth wave. And is this normal for a fourth wave? Well, actually it is, because the fourth wave is usually boring, and as you can see, this took a couple of, days, even 1 week. So yeah, this was boring, and right now we could be in the fifth wave. And like I said, the fifth wave is expected to have an ABC to the upside, which should honestly look like this. So what we have on the chart right now, this bounce that we got yesterday, could actually be the A wave to the upside that we needed, and what we are doing right now could be the B wave. So if it is the B wave, as you can see, we already got to the 0.382 support level right here, but we might go a bit lower because it could turn into a much bigger ABC structure, and if that happens, a next target would be at 88 cents. And if we do not hold there, the last support level would be at 86.6 cents, and not holding that level either would pretty much result in us dropping below the support levels. And if we do that, well, we could always get another low right here. Keep in mind, even though we had a pump over here, even though we reacted to the 618 support level almost, we are still in a downtrend over here. We did not manage to get above this high or this high, and we actually got rejected by the red line on the chart, which acted as resistance many times in the past. This is the red line that connects to the other two lows right here, and on the daily chart I don't have it, but it actually connects with the previous all-time high as well, so it looks something like this. And yeah, obviously there's going to be resistance in that area, but I think that at some point we're going to get above it, but we might get another low before we do that. And a target for a C wave of this fifth wave to the upside right now is at about $1.05. That's the minimum target for the fifth wave to the upside. And of course it could overextend maybe to $1.12, and in the best case scenario maybe even $1.22, but you have to keep in mind that even if we overextend to, let's say, the 0.786 support level and maybe even above that, the next big resistance level is gonna be at $1.14, which is the red line on the chart. This is the previous 618 of the previous all-time high. And it's a very important level because this is where we got rejected many times in the past, and I think this is where we're gonna get rejected again. And it's gonna make sense because, as you know, on the much bigger picture, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup, and the fifth wave is expected to get another high, so we're pretty much in the last stretch of the fifth wave because we're in the fifth wave of the fifth wave. And after that, that's going to complete a first wave to the upside, meaning we're going to need an ABC down. And getting an ABC down would actually make sense because if you watched my other videos, I mentioned that Bitcoin will probably start going down in September because that's what always happens in the post-halving year. Bitcoin first goes down in September, everybody thinks it's a bear market, but then it starts recovering and that's when it gets to new all-time highs again. And I think that if Bitcoin does that, then ADA will probably follow as well. Also, before we talk about ADA, even Ethereum right now is expected to get a fourth wave move down. As you can see, we are almost in my target region for the bigger third wave, so at some point we are gonna need an ABC, and yeah, when that happens, ADA will probably drop as well. So everything right now is pointing out to the fact that we are probably getting a correction in September. And if we do get a correction, that's going to be the perfect time for the ABC, which could put us at maybe the bull market support band or the 200-day moving average. We could bounce off of it and then do what we did over here. And also this pretty much lines up perfectly with the fact that we just had a cross on the bull market support band last month, so it was pretty much exactly 1 month ago. And if you look at what happened last year after we had a cross, so as you can see, this cross was in August, and we only really started going up in November, so we started going up 2 months after the cross and not instantly. In the short term, we actually went down, and we already had this move to the downside, we talked about it, but we had it over here exactly after the cross. As you can see, we had this drop and then we went up and we formed a new higher high, exactly like we did over here. But right now the chart is expected to form another high, so we should get that and then probably do something like we did over here, or just go down into an ABC. And just to give you an idea, from that high over there, if you take, let's say, a price range and see how much it went down, from that high to these lows right there, it dropped about 25%. And let's say the exact same thing happens right now. If we drop 25%, let's say we get to $1.10, dropping 25% would put us at about 81 cents. Is that realistic? Well, if you take a Fibonacci retracement support level, and if you look at where the, second wave move down could go, based on the fact that maybe the first wave will get to like $1.10, the 0.382 support level is going to be exactly at 82.5 cents. Obviously, if we go a bit higher, it's going to be a bit higher, or if we go lower, it's going to be lower. But yeah, this area right here is going to be very important. And even if you say that, maybe this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup already and it's completed, even if that's the case, and even if this was the top over here, support is still, between 78.1 cents and 66.4 cents. But, this is the 1618 over here. I'm sorry, the 618 over here. And the second wave move down does not usually drop to the 618. So in the worst case scenario, even if we have already topped in the first wave, the price should not drop below the bull market support band or the 200-day moving average. So I'm expecting another high, but I'm expecting the price to go down. And also, what could happen after that is pretty simple actually. If you look at the Ethereum chart, as I said, we're gonna need a fourth wave move down, which is probably gonna play out during September. And then after that, we are still expecting a fifth wave to the upside. That's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed. Check out the YouTube memberships and the Patreon if you want access to all of our charts, and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.